My coverage of CES 2020 is brought to you by MSI, Thermaltake, Lian Li, and Cooler Master. Guys, I'm at Gigabyte now. They have an awesome RAID card with a bunch of M.2 drives that has insane read-write speeds with PCI Express Gen 4, and they have a bunch of mods done by the community, so we're going to check these out right now. There are quite a few really nice looking builds here at the Gigabyte booth. Gigabyte/Aorus, I guess I should say. This one is running one of the new Threadripper 3 processors, the 3960X specifically, and it's paired with this card right here, this long card you can see down there. This is actually going to ship with the TRX40 motherboard. It's basically got 8 terabytes of PCI Express Gen 4 storage. So 4 of those really fast 2 terabyte drives in RAID 0, and these are the reads and writes they're getting. Look at that. Just shy of 19,000 megabytes per second reads and just over 15,000 megabytes per second writes. That's not too shabby. There are the detailed results with IOPS as well. So IOPS performance in a RAID configuration like these aren't going to be quite as impressive as the sequential read and write numbers, but we're still getting around 300,000 for that as well. So both the throughput and the responsiveness are there. Now let's talk about X299 motherboards. I feel torn, I feel conflicted because, you know, Intel launched their 10,000 series of high-end desktop processors like the 10980XE and everything, and we tested them, and you know, they're processors, they work, they're powerful, just the price to performance is not necessarily what everyone was looking for right now, especially when you compare it to the competition from AMD. So these are fresh X299 motherboards have been coming out, like the X299 Aorus Extreme Water Force right here with a really nice looking integrated water block here. It looks like they've got some leak sensors going on. It's going to pass through down to an additional loop over here for the chipset, as well as an M.2 drive. A cool looking board, a clean looking board. It has 16-phase power delivery. It has Intel Thunderbolt 3 and Wi-Fi 6. It's got an Aquantia 10 gigabit Ethernet adapter, and it fits Intel's 10980XE and below, as well as the previous generations of those CPUs. So if you can get your hands on one of those CPUs for a reasonable price, then maybe this board might be interesting to you. We've also got the Designaire, which Gigabyte has been creating for creators for a while now, and they're pretty proud of this one. It's got a kind of a cool feature because they integrated not 1 but 2 Intel 10 gigabit NICs on the back there. That is a really nice feature and a nice value add too, because those are not cheap. And then here we've got the TRX40 Aorus Extreme, and this is for Threadripper 3 processors. And this is also a very nice clean looking board. I don't know, I just like what Gigabyte has been doing with their design aesthetic. And these boards are really solid as well. It's got a surface mounted debug LED. This has a 16 plus 3 phase power delivery setup. It's got an integrated Intel X550AT2 dual gigabit Ethernet LAN. So that's again, really, really nice to have. And it comes with this. In fact, all 3 of these high-end desktop motherboards that I've just showed you, including the X299 boards, are going to ship with this adapter. So this was what was powering the demo that I just showed you with the Crystal Disk Mark read and write speeds in the insane range of 15 to 20,000 megabytes per second. Still got the plastic on the back, but you can see it comes with a back plate. Basically, there's 4 M.2 slots in there, and it is PCI Express Gen 4 compatible. It's got some active cooling. So if you're going to use this with X299, it will run at PCI Express Gen 3 speeds, but it does still work. But if you have an application for that sort of storage configuration, then this is definitely a nice little extra to get along with your motherboard. Gigabyte has some monitors now. Did you guys know that Gigabyte made monitors? I've talked about it before, but not everyone is aware. To be clear, they have Aorus monitors that are a little bit high-end. These are Gigabyte monitors that are going to be a little bit more reasonably priced, starting with the G27F. 27-inch Full HD, so it's a 1080 panel, but 144 hertz refresh rate, FreeSync and G-Sync compatible, and this one is only going to cost about $250. That one is an IPS display, and then we've got a couple more curved monitors here that are based on Samsung VA panels. We have a 27-inch curved over on the right. We've got a 32-inch curved right here. We're looking at about $350 for the 27-inch version here. This is a 1440 panel. This one has a 165 hertz refresh rate, FreeSync compatible once again, a 1500R curve, and it's HDR 1000 compliant. And then here's the G32QC. This one is also QHD or 1440, but 32-inch. Also 165 hertz, so very similar options to the 27-inch version, but this one also has a unique feature built in for a monitor that I've seen, which is that is also basically a QVM. So right now you've got this USB Type-C connector down here. Earlier they had this plugged into a laptop, and that was allowing it to send the video signal over to the monitor, and also use the mouse and keyboard down here for the laptop. And they unplugged it and plugged it into this phone. The phone solitaire popped up on the screen, and it still gives you the ability to use keyboard and mouse to control your phone. So great for solitaire, but also probably more practical for maybe something like PUBG Mobile, something like that. And now we have some custom modded computers. This one was built by Tristan. And you might look at this and think like, wow, that's really cool. He must be a professional modder. And granted, he has a lot of experience, but he is a Gigabyte fan who they recruited, I believe, through their Facebook page. And he built this system himself for himself. So this wasn't built for the show. This is his actual system. They've actually recruited 4 different community members who have built systems that they have on display right here. Tristan's is featuring the Z390 Aorus Extreme Water Force, as well as a bunch of custom work that he did, including fully manually sleeving the cables, which is an insane amount of work. These light-up panel down here was made by V1 Tech, and this is Primo Chill View coolant in the loop, the gray version of this, which has a bit of a spotty reputation. But according to Tristan, he did a bunch of prep work, including flushing the loop, cleaning each individual component prior to it, using Primo Chill's prep fluid and leaving it in there for like 4 days instead of a few hours. And he said he's had no issues with clogging or other buildup in this system. So really well done. I'm going to end this video with a little bit of a montage of the rest of the systems they have on display here, and I'll be right back. So guys, let me know in the comments what you think of those epic custom systems, because Gigabyte always does a great job of taking some really unique builds and showcasing them at events like this, and they do the same at Computex. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button, and a huge thank you to my sponsors for Computex 2020, MSI, Thermaltake, Lian Li, and Cooler Master. We'll be back with more videos really soon. We'll see you guys in the next one.